आलीस तू?
हाँ.
इकडे इथे 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 हाथ लो. वो फूल भी प्रसादी है. वो फूल भी प्रसादी है. तो सब में मिला देना. जी. हाँ सुनो, एक मिनट मैं इसको लेता हूँ. इसको बुला. तो मैं आपको एक काम करना पड़ेगा. तो 2 में नहीं होगा. Got a strong influence over Sai Baba and Gajanan Maharaj, then Akkalkot Swami. So these are all spiritual gurus. They were exalted souls, and they were all friends. So we don't find this in our history books, but just I am giving you an idea that they were contemporaries and they were friends. इसको छोटा कर दो, थोड़ा तेज। आवाज आ रही है? ज़्यादा नहीं। They were the dignitaries, and I am thankful to God that I was married to a person whose father and mother were the devotees. That is called as Anugraha. Means they were the disciples of this Brahmachaitanya Maharaj. And that is how I came in contact with this spiritual tradition. And I started reading and coming to know a little bit about what is the meaning of Namasmaran and all that. So gradually I started realizing that it is the center of life, the center of whatever we live in, whatever consciousness. If we go to the depth of it, the nucleus is the Namasmaran. And that is how in the course of time these books were written. So I thought I should just give you an introduction till our chief guest arrives. That what is it all about? So it is neither about living the life, L-E-V-I-N-G, living the life, being ascetic, or it is not something that is indulgent in life. So it is something like going to the center of life. Go to the center. So it is going to the core of life. So that is what I just wanted to introduce this idea. What is it about? So I came to know this in the course of time gradually and realized that they talk about the most important essence of life. And that is what determines the life, that is what governs the life, that is what orchestrates our life. So as many of my questions, my curiosities, my difficulties, my conflicts, my urges, they were resolved. I realized the importance of this process of Namasmaran. So it was not a sudden happening, but it happened in the course of time, gradually, and the books were written. Somebody was asking me, why did I write the books? So it's really a very good question. I didn't have any reason to write the books. It was only because of the inner urge that the urge itself gives its own expression, and that is how the books were written. So here also there was no specific plan to do this particular function and on a public scale, but it just happened in the course of time, and the idea went on getting crystallized, and it happened. So and I must tell you that it is the 100th Punyatithi. Somebody was asking me, the birth centenary. So what is this called in English? Now there is no word for the Punyatithi, because Punyatithi is an entirely Indian concept where the exclusive, exalted souls, they don't die. They come from light and they return to the light. And therefore, their Punyatithi has nothing to do with death. Punyatithi means that they leave the body and they live in their own original Swarupa. And therefore, it must appear strange to many people that their departure from their body is celebrated. Nobody cries on that time, because actually they have descended from the light in the Martya Loka, the immortal world, and they return to the immortal originality of their own. Therefore, this 100th Punyatithi is celebrated on a large scale. Today morning it was telecast on Zee 24 Hours. It is a Marathi channel. And on that they had telecast this program of celebration, 100th celebration of the Punyatithi of Brahma Chaitanya Maharaj. So we can spend some time actively. Some of you can ask if you have any curiosity till the night, because I don't want you to keep on just waiting. We can have this active dynamic time. Any specific unrelated, even unrelated question, whatever. Actually. So we have many words, like for example, holistic renaissance, or spiritual renaissance, or total stress management, holistic health. Now all that only means is rising from the basal level to the original level. Original level is the humane, more human level. Now it is ascent of man. In simple words, ascent of man. So Darwin wrote Descent of Man, and we have another person who wrote Kusalapao. He wrote Ascent of Man. Now, just to give you a brief idea about this superlearning is that the whole journey of human life or mankind or universe is two ways. One is entropy, another is enthalpy. The process of entropy, degeneration, is ongoing. We are all trapped in it. Other process, the Upanishads, right from the history. So, time immemorial, people try to see the truth, understand the truth, experience the truth, realize the truth. And that process is the mainstream of mankind. Now, this is only one name given to that process. And why superlane? Because it is in the present context, how to live, how to experience, how to practice that process that has continued from time immemorial in the present day. So in present day, how the realization inside can manifest in our day-to-day life. Now, for example, those who are interested in these books, I promise you that it will be my honor to hand over a copy to you with my best compliments. I will sign on that and personally give you with honor. So, all of you who are interested, I will give you that book. On the cover, there is a picture of sun, right? Sun, there is Surya. And I have just made an analogy or a comparison that sun is absolute truth. Absolute truth that governs the whole thing. Then the rays of sun is the process that goes on in the human mind. There is of remembering the truth. That is Namasmara. And whatever happens in the life, in the day-to-day life, in terms of our perspective, in terms of our thinking, in terms of our feelings, in terms of our passions, in terms of our activities, in terms of our motivations, that is super living. So super living is basically, again, going to the core, neither renouncing the world, nor harping on it. So we just, normally we tend to live in a process of entropy where we deal with peripheral aspects of life. We tend to get lost in the peripheral aspects, and we don't give enough time to go to the core. Now this attempt, this process, this effort to go to the core is super living and manifesting it in day-to-day life. So we are more joyous and probably more efficient than otherwise.
Mr. Srinivas, we are all familiar with this Ravi Shankar's thing, the art of living. So what is the difference between the art of living and the super living?
I don't know about art of living.
So how it is different from living?
Basically,
Because they have been
you have to also ask. Yes.
There are TV programs. We are living in the peripheral. We are more of the life we are indulged with the peripheral things. And what are the peripheral and what are the central things? What is the central thing then? Because we are living in the peripheral thing, what is exactly the central thing?
Yes. That's a very good question. But this question has to be explored by oneself. To tell you the truth. What is the center? Now I can just suggest that this is a process of going to the center. Now every individual subjective experience of that center is different. That depends on the stage of an individual. So a child, a grown-up person, an erudite person, they are different. Coming back to this question of art of living, I am familiar with art of living. To tell you the truth, in essence, as I understand, I just didn't want to enter into another field, but now I can tell that as far as I understand, the quest of truth is not different. Quest of truth is not different, whether it is art of living, any religion, it is a quest of truth. It is an effort to go to reach and experience truth. So that way, it has nothing, it is no way different in terms of search of truth. Now, just to give a difference, minute difference is in terms of, as far as art of living is concerned, as far as I know, it is reaching the truth, trying to reach the truth, and trying to manifest it in goodness, charity, and other things. As far as super living is concerned, our holistic renaissance is concerned, our spiritual renaissance is concerned, it is also a process of reaching the truth, experiencing the truth. But only thing that I have indicated, which many others have not indicated, is in terms of practical life. In practical life, for example, a soldier, a policeman, a politician, what is common there in human beings, as a physiologist, what is common to every person, whether a child or whether a grown-up person, whether a laborer or whether a minister or a bureaucrat, the common thing is physiologically the perspective of a person, the intellectual policy making at an individual level or social level, the feelings inside, the emotional content, emotional concomitant of that person, the passions, the instincts of that person, and the metabolism. Now, all these sequentially and systematically rise in the process of truth, in the process of realizing the truth. Now, this particular fact, I don't know whether the others know or not. Only thing is that I believe that they all must be knowing all this. Only thing is that this has not been detailed out. In the traditional books, people talk about self-realization, but it is like self-realization is like doing PhD. Now, if I am in the first standard, then I must know that I have to go to school, I have to graduate, and then there is a possibility of doing PhD. So what I have done is like school or college, wherein first thing that has to happen, in the colloquial language, we can say that this is Sat Prerana, Sat Vichar, Sat Bhavana, Sat Vasana, and Sat Kruti. Now, it is this sequence through which we have to go, and then we can go to the self-realization. Now, this has not been mentioned in the literature such as art of living. This is a difference. Any other questions?
I think super living, as you have defined, the ramifications of the living, what we are going to achieve in the different
Correct.
aspects.
Yes.
And I think art of living tells you how to achieve this super living. That is what I feel. I don't know. Art of living gives you how to live.
Out there, your mind is very wandering periphery. Can you achieve with meditation? Or you can reach, by meditation you can reach in the trance?
I don't know about whether one can reach through trance or not. Trance, now this is a very subjective question. Whether one can reach or not, that one has to find himself.
By meditation at least?
No, I know only about Namasmaran. So I can tell you with some experience of Namasmaran, but as far as whatever I have read and understood about meditation,
I think you have to explain little bit more about Namasankar.
no, पहले मैं इसका question देखता हूँ.
Clear about
हैं?
Namasankar.
Now, whatever he asked is about meditation, and another is about trance. Now, trance, I don't know. About meditation, whatever I have read and whatever little bit I have practiced and whatever, I can only tell that with Namasmaran, it is a hypothesis again. It is a hypothesis that your feelings, your thoughts, they become more selfless. Somebody was asking me what is periphery and what is. Now, if we eat banana, then normally we eat the core of it. We don't eat the skin of banana. Similarly, you were asking. Superficial living is very simple. Now, if I know you superficially, I will talk with you in a superficial manner. Now, we all understand that if we are talking heart to heart, then what is the difference? And if we are talking superficially and casually, what is the difference? So, with meditation, whether you can reach to your core or not, that you have to decide, not I. But only thing, this is a hypothesis wherein I am telling hypothesis because everyone has to experiment for himself or herself. Why this is hypothesis? Because this is not absolute truth. This is something that one has to explore for oneself. So, these are the thoughts, and he asks precisely, what is the difference? So, in most of the literature on spiritualism that I have read, they deal with self-realization in one form or the other, whether they call it nirvana, whether they call it bhakti, whether they call it atma-shuddhi, atma-jnana, or exaltation, mukti, but that is like ultimate stage. And what I have written is in between, unless we go through this particular process of having selflessness, some broad growth in our intelligence to think more selflessly, to have a perspective of global vision, to have feelings, sadbhavana, good feelings about others, then we don't reach that exalted stage. Now, I don't think that Ravi Shankar doesn't know this. Only thing is that it is not there in explicit manner in their treatises which they have written. I don't think that this is not known to anyone. But only thing is this is not depicted in a systematic manner, which I have done here.
Sir, I went through thousands of books of self-realization and so many spiritual gurus, so many techniques I went through, but I realized ultimately that there is no need to learn any art for living. Living is a spontaneity, should be natural, and in a spontaneity is like flowing of the water. There is no need to read any book. Yes, I realize self-realization is a two word, but it's the root of all spirituality, sir. It's not easy. Self-realization and self-awareness is not easy. So many big thoughts and spiritual guru even doesn't know what is a consciousness, what is a self. Even two words nobody can explain rightly. If two words is, what is the spiritual consciousness? What is the spiritual self? What are the type of self? So I think that there is no need to learn any kind of art for living or for achieving higher consciousness. It's a very natural and spontaneity. Requires awareness of your mind.
So if you write a book on this, should the others read or not? So these are the thoughts, everyone gets different thoughts. So I have no specific, you have not asked any questions, so there is no answer for this. So I appreciate your expression.
For your self-realization.
You can little bit explain for the listener difference in living and super living. Little more clearly. You explained it.
So this,
Living
for
and super living.
may I suggest you to read.
The book. I'll read it.
He thinks that books should not be read, but you don't think that way.
No.
So you can read.
I will read it. Don't worry.
No, he said he has already read so many books.
Explain.
He said he has gone.
So he has already read.
And he
All
will
the
read this book
books
also.
of different self-realization and spirituality.
Yeah.
And across many Superman. I searched and hunt, but I found nothing special in anybody, sir. Ultimately, no art. Even Ravi Shankar is not teaching any art.
I think you may get something in this book. Read it.
The next book for reading.
Now,
The next book for you.
I appreciate your question. Only thing is that I am humbly telling that it is not an easy thing
Yeah.
to describe what is the difference between living and super living, because
Right.
actually it is something which we naturally do.
Subject.
Yeah. So basically, I said it is a semantic. It is semantic. It's a word just to depict your growth. I can just say that if you are aware of your growth
Yeah.
and harping on to your own growth, you are concerned about your own growth. That's all. That is super living. And being unaware of your growth or destruction is living.
Simple living.
Normally what we do is when we live, we are not aware of our entropy and enthalpy, but here we are little more concerned and oriented to our growth. I can say that.
I agree.
So, sir, principal sir, what shall we do?
प्रिंसिपल साहब से करा दीजिए.
आप जैसा गाइड करेंगे वैसा करेंगे.
पता करो उसको रिंग कर दीजिए आ गए कि नहीं. मैडम को तो आ गया.
राजमार्ग से आपको गुजरना पड़ेगा.
मार्ग नहीं है. मार्ग और राजमार्ग में क्या?
राजमार्ग is highway. Marg is way with some inconvenience.
कितना?
राजमार्ग जो है.
डॉक्टर साहब कह रहे हैं जनपद और राज.
हाँ, correct.
ये राजमार्ग जनमार्ग नहीं है तो जनमार्ग होना चाहिए पब्लिक के लिए.
राजमार्ग हमने खोला है जन के लिए.
जनमार्ग होना चाहिए.
वो आप चलेंगे तो जनमार्ग होगा.
अभी चल नहीं रहे हैं. ये भी बात ठीक.
नहीं, आप ये नहीं. Most of the people we find. I at least can tell you, I can confess that I was not walking on this road when I was ignorant, more ignorant than what I am now. I consider less ignorant than what I was ignorant earlier.
आपका इन्वॉल्वमेंट कितना पुराना? फ्रॉम वेरी बिगनिंग और जस्ट न्यू?
मेरा involvement आप पूछेंगे तो it is from 1970.
When you were married?
No, I got married later and got more involved. So my involvement is earlier than that. And if you ask me truly speaking, I don't know exactly when I was involved because it was much earlier, right from childhood.
Yeah.
So it comes, see, we are going deeper, I am happy. It comes from a known. It comes from the arena where the thoughts end, where the memories fail, where the logic doesn't work. So it is beyond logic, beyond time, beyond consciousness. That entity actually engrosses you and picks you up. So it is not me who is doing it. It is that truth that pulls me towards
कोई
it.
गुरु जरूर होंगे आपके गुरु नहीं कह रहे
मैंने आपको शायद आप नहीं थे, ये जो फोटो वहाँ पर है,
अच्छा जी जी
ये फोटो हमारे गुरु का है.
अच्छा ये आपके गुरु
Sir, beyond time, beyond consciousness can't exist. You can explain, sir, about it. Why you can say beyond time and beyond consciousness? Because we are a part of cosmic consciousness. How I can exist and think about the beyond consciousness? Sun ka law, moon ka law, samundra ka law, all is working in consciousness.
it's a matter of perception.
And beyond time, sir, beyond you can do the time zero, but you can't work beyond the time. You can make the by spirituality time zero.
I appreciate your statement.
ये बात तो
I can only say that I appreciate your expression.
Yes, I agree. Time can be made zero by meditation and samadhi.
No, I agree to disagree with you, and I agree that you disagree with me. I have no problem, and there is no complaint. It's fine. Very nice.
ठीक है
आपने जो बोला उसमें मुझे कुछ नहीं करने देना. आपने पूछा ही नहीं.
And scientific, sir, time, how can beyond time, sir, time, one year I can make 1 minute.
No, I think he understood when I talked to him. That was his question, and therefore, whatever he asked, it was pertaining to what he asked. Understand? Whatever he asked, in that pertinence, I have made a statement. I think that is more than explained, more than enough to give you explanation.
आ जाओ भाई ग्रीटिंग होती
I am
There are few times in the word truth cropped in. Few times in your discussion, the word truth cropped in. Now truth, as I understand, is of many levels. Samay, Kal, Desh. And Krishnamurti said, truth is a pathless land. Now which truth are we addressing here?
If I understood your question correctly, I totally agree with you when you said that truth is of different aspects, correct? And I don't disagree with that. It is called relative truth, subject to subject. So I mean the same thing. I mean the same thing. So your truth, you deal with your truth. Somebody else deals with his truth. So that is exactly what I am talking about. And just more practical, being more practical about it. What I feel is that whatever you are satisfied with, whatever you feel happy with, that is what exactly, or whatever you think is true, that is true for you. And I have no disagreement on that. So relative truth is fine. Now,
बहुत जल्दी आ गए यार बेटा तो पहले आ गई
तो आगे से ये बोले मैं आ रहा हूँ इसलिए
अरे यार
so the program, I apologize for the delay, but we'll start right now with the prayer. I'll have a very short prayer. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. So it gives me great pleasure ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि मैं यहाँ आप सबका स्वागत करता हूँ। और इसके पहले मैं बहुत खुश हूँ इसलिए कि डॉक्टर रीता मैडम ने यहाँ ये जो कार्यक्रम है ये इसका कंसेप्शन रीता मैडम ने किया। और उससे हमें इतना बहुत खुश हुए। हम जब 9th स्टैंडर्ड में पढ़ते थे तो हमें एक सिखाया गया था खोली ना समाना। खोली ना समाना का मतलब होता है बहुत आनंद होना। तो हमें अभी तक याद है हम खोली नहीं समा रहे हैं कि ये कार्यक्रम आज हो रहा है। और हमें ऐसा लगा कि डॉक्टर सत्यानंद साहब बहुत अच्छा बोलते हैं, हमने सुना था। और हमको ये भी पता था कि उनका गीता पर अभ्यास है। तो हमने मैडम से पूछ लिया कि क्या सर आगे बात करेंगे। तो मैडम ने भी बोल दिया कि हाँ हाँ जरूर बात करेंगे। तो हमें ये भरोसा आ गया कि सर आएंगे, मैडम आएंगी और ये हमारे गुरु का जो एक संकल्प था वो पूरा हो जाएगा। पहला संकल्प ये था कि हम नामस्मरण करें। तो हमसे नामस्मरण करवाया उन्होंने, हमसे कुछ लिखवाया। और ये रिकॉर्ड टाइम में 3 वीक्स में 2 पुस्तक तैयार हो गई। और ये 2 पुस्तक तैयार होना ये मेरे बस की बात नहीं है। मैं इतना छोटा आदमी हूँ कि मुझे खुद को पता नहीं है कि मेरे अंदर कितनी बुराइयां हैं। और ये बुराइयां होने के बावजूद अगर हमसे कुछ लिखा जाता है तो वो सब गुरु की कृपा होती है। इस और गुरु कृपा। तो हमको इससे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि मैडम ने हाँ कह दिया। मैडम ने इतना उत्साह दिखाया कि मुझे लगता है पूर्व जन्म में उनका जो पुण्य है वो अभी प्रकट हो रहा है। क्योंकि नहीं तो ये विषय में इतनी आस्था होना बहुत मुमकिन होता नहीं, मुश्किल होता है। और सत्यानंद सर आप आए, हमको बहुत अच्छा लगा। हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं। एंड विदाउट टेकिंग मोर टाइम आई रिक्वेस्ट मैडम प्लीज कम ऑन द डैश। एंड सर प्रिंसिपल सर, she calls you here to come. She had warned me that I should not call her on the dais. So I was not daring to call her on the dais. But now I feel that उसका नाम है विभा। विभा means moon. So moon has to rise from that. So now I will humbly request the dignitaries to light the lamp, Deepak Rajan. Sir, आइए।
नहीं नहीं, तू मैडम मैडम है।
request Richa Madam to release the book and give her best wishes. वो एक पुस्तक नहीं है, पास है।
अच्छा वो मैंने देखा था। हाँ
आज सुनो I request Suchan sir, please release the other book also. It is in Hindi. Madam, can you please give your best wishes? When I said that it is from our previous birth, it is not chapnosi. The difference between chapnosi and samjagiri and sincerity is that chapnosi and samjagiri is with some vested interest. I have no whatsoever vested interest here. It is only honestly that I felt that it is unless and until there is some background, one cannot have this kind of interest. A genuine interest in this. Please, ma'am.
Respected Chairman, Professors, Academic Council के Research, Academic Council के Dean, हमारे MP त्रिपाठी सबके सामने मैं इस बुक को अनावरण करने में बहुत गर्व महसूस कर रही हूँ और मैं डॉक्टर कशालीकर को अपनी तरफ से कंग्रेचुलेट करती हूँ कि उन्होंने अपने हिंद मेडिकल कॉलेज का नाम के साथ एक उपलब्धि जोड़ दी कि हमारे हिंद मेडिकल कॉलेज में एक नमो स्मरण नाम की बुक का भी अनावरण हुआ। एकेडमिक्स, रिसर्च, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज, डांस, गाने, साथ साथ हमने अब एक अचीवमेंट हमारे बायोडेटा में और जुड़ गया कि हिंद इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेडिकल साइंसेज में एक इतनी अच्छी बुक का भी अनावरण किया गया, जिसके लिए मैं डॉक्टर कशालीकर को और डॉक्टर विभा को अपनी तरफ से, कॉलेज की तरफ से हार्दिक बधाई देती हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Now I request our dear principal, respected principal, Dr. Tripathi, to bless us with his kind words.
Dr. Sachan, faculty member. Matter of great pleasure to be here on the occasion of the 100th of the anniversary of Guruji. Sadguru Sri Chaitanya Maharaj Godavarikar. Dr. Srinivas Janardhan Kesharikar himself is a very devoted to the Guruji. He is a very calm and quiet, God-fearing person who has written this book named Naam Aswan, means jap of the God's name. This gives the power and confidence to the person This book has lightened the महिमा of the God remembering, and it is rightly said, दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे हो. It also throws light that Guru is the superior to the God. Guru Gobind दो खड़े आके लागों पाए, बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो बताए. So in the end, I would like to congratulate Dr. Srinivas Janardhan Keselkar for lightening the mahima of his job and esteem respect to the Guru. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, very much for your kind words. And being so particular and so keen about the occasion and specifying this occasion as 100th anniversary, it shows your keen interest. Now I request Dr. Sachan. I have said glimpses of the book because there was not too much time for the preview, but I tried to give it as early as possible. And I am sure, by virtue of his own enlightenment, he will be able to give you a glimpse or glimpses of the small book that I have written, Namasmaran and Superlative. And the other book is in Hindi, and let me tell you honestly that it is dealing with some important topics which are also there in the bigger book. So it is written for those who are more oriented and more well-versed with Hindi. That is the only difference. Please, sir, Dr. Sachan. So I have tried to restrict to the time because just we will have Prasad and please, sir.
Dr. Srinivas Janardhan Keselkar, Dr. Vibha, Dr. H. Mishra, the chairperson of Institute of Medical Sciences, Dr. Anjit Tripathi, the principal, Dr. Ramchandra, Dr. V.K. Srivastava, and respected dignitaries, faculty members of Institute of Medical Sciences. The topic which Dr. Srinivas has chosen, it is in a real sense the basic theme of life. Because of our day-to-day activities, we have forgotten the Almighty. Not only we have forgotten the Almighty, we have forgotten ourselves. And because of that reason, the book has appeared. It has been written and told by many gurus that the net result of this Kali Yuga is Dukh. Dukh is not actually what happens, but Dukh is what actually we perceive. And how to get rid of that Dukh. Nobody wants to remain in Dukh. Nobody wants. But we invite only Dukh. And that's why we get Dukh. The Ishwar, the Almighty, the God, the Supreme supreme power is defined as, there is a three characteristic of that supreme power, to whom Dr. Srinivasan has addressed by his remembrance. The three basic characters is that he is Sat, he is Chetan, and he is Anand. Sat, Chit, Anand. That is the basic property of this supreme power. As per the science which we have learned, we are a part of energy. We are nothing other than the energy. We are not hand, we are not leg, we are not head, we are not thorax, we are not chest, we are not abdomen. This is the part of the body. And that part of the body is regulated by energy. That energy circulates through the nervous system into each and every cell of our body. And that gives the life. Once that innervation is disconnected, that part becomes inactive. For example, if there is some nerve is compressed at one part, that part becomes inactive. And similarly, that part which is regulated by the brain, if that becomes inactive because of some disease, because of some thrombus formation, then also that part becomes inactive. That doesn't work. That means the energy flows from the brain to each and every organ. And that energy is directly communicated with that Almighty. Energy never destroys, never disintegrates, never disappears. This is the basic principle of science. As described by Einstein, the energy changes its form. From one form it goes to another form. That is why we all are immortal. And that name of that energy is defined in so many terms, in so many ways, at so many places, in so many books, by so many literatures and authors, by Atma, or by something which makes us lively. And that is connected with superpower. Here, I would like to emphasize one more point. How we can get rid of this book? We can get rid of this book by detachment. And detachment can come only by way of meditation. And the Nam-Smaran is also one form of meditation, by which, because whenever we take birth, we have been given a name to every individual, that I am Amod, he is Dr. Ramchandra, he is so-and-so, he is Vijay, he is Surin, he is so-and-so. In the same manner, we have given name to our supreme power. He is Brahma, he is Vishnu, he is Mahesh. But actually, they are the energy reservoirs. As we understand this mechanism of energy system, and to connect with that superpower, then we can remain in the blissful condition. We can remain in the permanent. Because the basic character of that Paramatma and the Atma is only Anand. That is not Dukh. Dukh is related with this body. And therefore, by this Naman, repeated reminding of the world, or by direct communication with our meditation, We can directly link them. And there are so many persons on this earth who have taken birth and became directly connected with that energy reservoir and became the technology, and they are nothing other than the God. As the God is powerful, they also become the powerful. So therefore, the best way to be in a happiness is that whatever we do, we should do with full commitment and dedication as it has been assigned by the Supreme God. We have been assigned this job to be a doctor, to be a professor, and if we will perform our duty in the same manner, then we can say that the work you have assigned me, I did it, but I cannot depend on the result of it. Once you dedicate your work to the God and you dedicate the result also to the God, that is the Karma Yoga. There are three things only which can make the person perfect. One is Karma Yoga, second is Jnana Yoga, third is Dhyana Yoga. These are only three things which can make the person perfect, and he can become the God if he practices these three things. And many of people, they have attained that stage. There are n number of persons, particularly in Indian subcontinent, Mahatma Buddha, Mahavir, Ram, Krishna, they all were those persons who took birth on this earth, and they attained that stage of the equal to the God. Jnana Yoga is a simple thing that we are the part of that superpower. The energy flows in us is the part of that Almighty. Second, the Karma Yoga, that whatever I am doing, it is not me. It is that Almighty who is getting the things done through me. Therefore, I am not responsible for that. And therefore, I dedicate all that deeds to Him. Therefore, neither the sukh nor the dukh of that is associated with me, and I remain in a state of bliss, in Paramananda. That is the ultimate thing that makes you happy. Unless you don't achieve this thing, all the time you will remain in dukh and dukh and dukh. Because the achievements which you have got, which gives you pleasure, there's a fear that those achievements will be taken away from you. All the time you are in fear. Whether it's money, whether it's power, whether it's any name or fame, you are all the time in a state that it will be taken away from you sometime, someday, including your own body. And the reason being that you are afraid, you are all the time worried. In the same manner, when the sukh is dukh, then dukh itself is dukh. The bottom line is dukh. Until we learn the practice of detachment. If we do it, we're perfect. We're all the time. Whatever happens doesn't make. I did my best. Rest is Almighty. Even He has even succeeded. Thank you very much. You did wonderful thing that I got this blessing from you. And Dr. Srinivasan has really wonderful. This is one method of getting connected with the superpower. And this is excellent and the simplest method. Once you get connected with them and get yourself detached. I congratulate Dr. Srinivasan that he has done a wonderful thing and given the opportunity all of us to think in this line, to be in happiness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sajansan, for enlightening everybody of this. I will now request Dr. Suhas Mehta just to express his feelings about this publication. He is the publisher. Lastly, now there is a topic for me, source of inspiration. I'll just tell you in one word. I don't want to delay. It is all along Guru Krupa. It is Almighty. Guru Tattva is one and the same. It is not different for any human being. And this is the body of Guru is for me, just as motherhood is same for universe, Guru Tattva is same for universe, Godness is same for universe. Everybody can have different names for different gods and experiences. Similarly, our Guru may be from Gondole and there is related individual universe, but Guru Tattva is one and the same. So it is Guru Krupa all along. And I have not done anything because I will tell you honestly that I never expected anything from myself because all along there have been so many drawbacks and what I can say deficiencies in me and like anybody else I never expected, but there is something mukam karoti vajanam pangum langayate grim yat krupa tamam munde paramananda madhavam. So actually he can make a lame person climb the whole mountain and he can make a dumb deaf person speak. So from a mortal creature like me, he got it done and all thanks to him or gratitude to him and the whole life, even if we will devote our whole life, it is not enough. So Sir said that I am God-fearing, but I was not God-fearing at all. And I am telling you that I am not afraid of anybody. I am not afraid of anybody because that doesn't bother me at all. Only thing that I am concerned is that how to live to the best of my conscience. And therefore, to listen to your own conscience is the most difficult thing. Namasmaran, whether it is associated with identifying your conscience or because you identify your conscience, you are associated with Namasmaran. Because there is Guru Krupa, you do Namasmaran, or you do Namasmaran and therefore there is Guru Krupa. This is all individual has to find out. This is individual exploration. Whatever I have done is sharing my experiences. Now it is not to preach anybody that you do this. It is not to preach anybody that this is the only thing. Everybody can try his own way. Meditation, thinking, introspection, whatever you want, you do to explore whatever truth that you believe in, you like, whether it is relative, absolute, or penultimate, or ultimate, that is up to you, but this is just a sharing. This is what I want to humbly express. Lastly, I want to reiterate that all those who are interested in the book, I will happily sign on it and give you with best compliments, with all my best wishes, with great honor. So anybody who is interested, they can always contact me, both for English as well as Hindi books. I am not going to charge any single penny for that, because this is come from Guru, and it will go to Guru, all along the Guru Krupa. So, thank you very much, and I request all of you to please have the prasad, because it is His grace, and the grace will flow through every single particle that you eat. Thank you very much. Thank you. सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Neer